By morning, the night had transformed into the most startling, jaw-dropping show in hip-hop history. Yet it began like any other night in Harlem. The man who has been notorious for controversy, loyalty tests, and public arguments with the woman who has supported him for more than 20 years. Jim Jones accomplished the unimaginable, a surprise celebration for Chrissy Lampkin's 53rd birthday. However, don't misunderstand, it was more than cake and balloons. Under the pretense of festivity, this was betrayal. This was a covert love affair. Every grin on this particular night was a dagger. Visitors entered a space with crystal chandeliers that resembled something from a fairy tale, a personalized Queen Chrissy ice sculpture that sparkles in the lighting, and velvet walls. Behind the champagne toasts and the music, however, there were rumors of secret plans, leaked text messages, and uninvited guests. That X in the corner who released the video of Jim yelling backstage just now, just minutes before Chrissy's arrival. Why, therefore, did Mama Jones burst out crying before the candles had even been lit? What ought to have been Chrissy's most joyful night swiftly turned into an emotional battlefield full of betrayal, conflict, and social media mayhem that set Harlem and the industry on fire. You assumed that this was merely a birthday. No, it was this group that made everything public. Furthermore, admirers stopped inquiring about Chrissy's feelings of love at the conclusion of the evening. They wanted to know if she was going to lose her whole empire. In Harlem, the night began as any other. However, by dawn, it had evolved into the most startling, astounding scene in hip-hop history. The man who has been notorious for controversy, loyalty tests, and public arguments with the woman who has supported him for more than 20 years. Jim Jones accomplished the unimaginable, a surprise celebration for Chrissy Lampkin's 53rd birthday. However, don't misunderstand, it was more than cake and balloons. Under the pretense of festivity, this was betrayal. This was a covert love affair. Every grin on this particular night was a dagger. Visitors arrived at what appeared to be a handcrafted Queen Chrissy ice sculpture gleaming under the lights, velvet walls, and crystal chandeliers straight out of a fairy tale. Behind the champagne toasts and the music, however, there were rumors of secret plans, leaked text messages, and uninvited guests. That X in the corner who made the leak? Is there a video of Jim yelling backstage minutes before Chrissy's arrival? Why, therefore, did Mama Jones burst out crying before the candles had even been lit? It was supposed to be the most joyful night of Chrissy's life, but it swiftly turned into an emotional battlefield full of treachery, conflict, and social media mayhem. With Harlem and the D-hole industry is burning, you assumed that this was merely a birthday. No, it was this group that made everything public. Furthermore, admirers stopped inquiring about Chrissy's feelings of love at the conclusion of the evening. They wanted to know if she was going to lose her whole empire. On the night that Harlem believed it would be commemorating love, the internet declared war. The legendary rap artist, Dipset Soldier, and eternal Jim Jones' fiancé chose to celebrate Chrissy Lampkin's 53rd birthday with the most lavish, over-the-top surprise party. It appeared to be the kind of fairy tale moment that fans had been longing for. The man is at last prioritizing his girlfriend, giving her the attention she so richly deserves. This wasn't just a party though. As the video leaked, insiders spilt tea, and receipts began to appear in real time. In disguise as love, this was an emotional ambush. Expecting a private meeting, Chrissy entered. She unlocked a Harlem space adorned with gold-trimmed draperies, chandeliers, and a huge ice sculpture that bore the words Queen Chrissy. It was raining balloons. As a Dipset medley played, more than 100 voices let out a cry of surprise. Cameras captured her actual shock. She covered her mouth with her palm while her eyes gleamed with tears. Jim kissed her palm like a king crowning his queen, his face gleaming with diamonds and colors. The internet finally sighed for a brief moment. However, that sigh would not endure. Before Chrissy's last-minute arrival, an audio recording appeared on Twitter. As soon as the leak surfaced, people panicked over a muffled backstage tape of Jim screaming, "I told you not tonight. Don't ruin this for me." He's yelling at whom? An advertiser, a sidekick, someone requesting a spot at the celebration. As soon as Chrissy stepped through the door, hashtags started to go viral. Hashtag Jim and hashtag Team Chrissy were revealed. Some fans supported Jim as a man attempting to honor his queen, but others were already divided. Others were certain that Chrissy was about to fall victim to a meticulously planned deceit. There were questions about the guest list within the gathering. Unexpected faces were revealed in leaked videos. A clinking glass at the bar was a known past flame of Jim's. There's a competing producer in the corner whispering to Mama Jones. Above all, there was an anonymous woman sitting a few tables away from Chrissy, her face hidden in every shared video. Who sent out the invitation? What brought her there? She was dubbed by fans right away. The issue was Jim's attempt to use performances to steer the story. The previous Dipset affiliates finished up Christina, "You Are So Beautiful," a gospel choir sung, and it brought her to tears. Whispers, however, changed the mood of the throng. Instagram saw screenshot leaks at the same time, a purported group message between Chrissy's closest pals that reads, "Sis, use caution." Another DM from an unidentified user only stated, "He's hiding something." She's in the room tonight. Mama Jones's grabbing of the microphone during a toast was the decisive moment. This is a beautiful night, she said, her voice quivering with blazing passion, but lying as short. The room echoed with gasps. Mama Jones slammed her heels into the floor and rushed out as Jim reached for the microphone. Her leaving went live on Twitter a few seconds after that. Supporters went crazy. Was Chrissy in danger? Was she undermining Jim? Or was she disclosing something that nobody wanted to know? Chrissy tried to grin, but the storm was getting stronger. Another leak occurred. There was shaky video of Jim outside earlier that night. His ear was pressed to the phone. Despite being muffled, his voice was chilling. It's over if she finds out tonight. Keep out of the house. Theorems became uncontrollable. It wasn't just any woman with a blurry face. She had a purpose. Jim was also afraid of being discovered. Next, the birthday cake was presented. A diamond and gold leaf-covered, 5-tiered extravaganza. While the choir sang happy birthday, mayhem broke out in the rear of the room. A pair at the same time that phones were recording every second. Guests yelled, security dragging them apart. Minutes later, the clip was all over the place. Shouting, "You're his genuine date." One woman spat back, "Sit down. You don't know me." Twitter crashed. When Chrissy extinguished her candles, hashtag Jim got caught was trending all over the world. Celebrities quickly fueled the flames with more fuel. Tamar Braxton tweeted, "Every queen deserves her crown, not clown shoes." Cardi B also shared the same message. Cryptically, Harlem looking messy tonight. Even Camilla, a former love and hip-hop star, added, "Child, I warned y'all about these surprises." But the deadliest blow came directly from Chrissy. She posted a picture of herself holding the cake knife on her Instagram story, which was changed mid-party with the chilling phrase. As the evening dragged on, an anonymous Twitter user dropped the smoking gun. Why did fans freeze? Was she calling out Jim? Was it a scream for assistance? Or was it directed at the blurred-faced woman whose presence everyone was now analyzing frame by frame? "Don't stand so close to her," Jim whispered near a woman's ear in a 45-second audio recording taken inside the event. "I can't let this get out of control." The blurred-faced woman was the scandal, not a theory anymore, and his voice was indisputable. Jim remained behind, pacing furiously and yelling into his phone as Chrissy left early at the end of the evening, her face obscured by huge sunglasses and her grin gone. Who leaked this? Mama Jones went live, yelling from her vehicle, "I told you." Twitter Spaces exploded with thousands of listeners discussing if Chrissy had finally hit her breaking point, and videos of her tirade received hundreds of thousands of views in minutes. Fans sat up till morning, analyzing every perspective. Harlem is about to see the truth. TikTokers acted out Mama Jones grabbing the microphone while playing dramatic music, and Instagram was overrun with memes of her saying "Why a toast?" Then, just when everyone thought things couldn't get much worse, the infamous leak page at Harlem Truths dropped a bomb. The celebration was over, but Harlem and Chrissy were left standing in the rubble. A birthday that should have made her queen had become a battleground of lies. First act should have made her queen had become a battleground of lies. First act. Tomorrow, the actual receipts drop. The internet didn't sleep, and by daybreak, every frame of Chrissy's birthday party was still blazing with clips, memes, and fan theories that analyzed every single frame. The party was ended, but the scandal was only getting started. The infamous leak account delivered on its promise at Harlem Truths the following evening, though in the whole hip-hop world was turned upside down in a matter of seconds. The first drop was a screen capture of purported text messages between Jim and the blur-faced woman. One of the messages that was seen at the party was, "Please stay away from the stage, but I'll seat you in the back. She is unable to learn." Another said, "Give me the toast. Don't react if your mother speaks." The communications exploded like dynamite. The second leak, a voice note purportedly from Chrissy's phone, was even more terrifying. Jim's voice crackled through the speaker, and fans were furious. Had Jim invited another lady, perhaps a lover, to Chrissy's celebratory birthday? "You already have the ring and the life, so why do you need the papers? That's just for show." Fans were furious. Chrissy had been waiting for Jim to propose for years. Within minutes, evidence emerged that Jim had no intention of ever marrying her, turning Twitter into a battleground with hashtags like #ChryssyA storyline. Love and Hip Hop had immortalized and, now on the night intended to honor her. One thing was evident, though, as fans attacked Jim, accusing him of being manipulative and self-centered, while others protected him, saying the leaks were orchestrated or fabricated to destroy his moment. #deserves better and #Jim, LLIED, again surged. Regarding visibility, celebrities were powerless to refuse. Remy Ma wrote on social media, "Parties aren't always for you. The cameras are the reason." Blasting Jim Harlenfunklex went live on Hot 97. "You don't play women that way. If this is accurate, he's finished. Man, love your queen in private." Even Fat Joe said, "Don't make her look bad in public." Then followed the scene that made everyone in the audience shudder. Backstage footage appeared. Unstable low-light video of Jim and Mama Jones fighting prior to the celebration. The voice of Mama was clear. "She will learn. You can't conceal her forever, Jimmy." Jim retaliated abruptly. "No, Ma, not tonight. For me, don't spoil this." There was a gasp from the audience. Mama was not merely acting dramatic. She was aware that he had silenced her when the leaks continued, even though she had warned him. Her silence was broken by Chrissy. 3 words on a mysterious dark screen were posted by her. "I listened to everything." That one post set off a chain reaction. Support from fans poured into her remarks, telling her to get away from Jim for good. People pleaded with her to go live because they were eager to hear her perspective, but there were other people sending messages besides Chrissy. There appeared an enigmatic Instagram burner that claimed to be near Jim's actual truth. The account shared a blurry screenshot purportedly showing Jim and the woman with the blurred face on a FaceTime call, dated only a few hours before to the birthday celebration. The photo quickly gained popularity as the caption stated, "He told her he loved her, then went to throw a party for Chrissy." Instagram attempted to remove it, but by then, the thousands of people had already reposted the video. When a confidential tape leaked from within the party, the mayhem erupted. In the middle of the chaos, Jim's voice was whispering again, "Let's just spin it. If this blows up, she will remain where she is." The fans were appalled. Was Jim so sure of Chrissy's devotion that he thought she would put up with constant humiliation? Mama Jones, meanwhile, doubled down. Eyes flaming, hair wrapped, she went live once more. "I told everyone that my son doesn't respect anyone, not the lady who constructed him. She is responsible if Chrissy stays. However, I stated what I said." There was a battle zone in the comments section. People commended Mama for standing up for Chrissy. She was accused of undermining her own son by others. The damage was done. Nevertheless, Chrissy's supporters came to the rescue as Harlem burned. Emily B. wrote a note of encouragement. "A queen never pleads for allegiance." An eyebrow-raising comment was written by Yandy Smith, who was previously involved in conflicts with Chrissy. Things always change. Fans made predictions right away. After years of conflict, was Yandy secretly supporting Chrissy or patronizing Jim? Then came the unexpected video. Jim vanished for about 20 minutes after sneaking out of the venue during the celebration. According to a leaked footage from the party's security cameras, as soon as he returned with a rumpled shirt and a shaky demeanor, theorems went wild among fans. Was the blurred-faced woman outside the person he was meeting? Did he want to hide the leaks? Or was he just losing his mind under the strain? The one that when a final teaser was released by Harlem Truths, the story took a further turn. A cropped screen grab of a purported email exchange between Jim and the producers of VH1. Fans were shocked by the subject line, which said Chrissy's party storyline. Was the entire surprise party scripted for reality TV? Was this chaos orchestrated? By midnight, social media was divided into parties. Hashtag Team Chrissy demanded she go and completely expose Jim, while hashtag Team Jim maintained the leaks were fabricated and intended to undermine Harlem's king. Or was someone inside the network leaking private emails to fan the flames for ratings? And the hashtag who is she went viral. Fans were enamored with revealing the blurred-faced woman, with some claiming she was a stylist, others swearing she was an old flame, and some whispering she was much more of a hidden companion. Before going down, Chrissy shared one last tale, a video of her blowing out her candles but slowing down, her face expressionless, with the remark, "Nothing's the same." She had been living in the shadows for years, while the world debated. Then the suspenseful moment that made everyone on the internet screams. At 2 in the morning, and fried a full video. Chrissy walks in, was tweeted by Harlem Truths, and the timeline went viral. Desperate to understand the meaning of the complete video, fans pleaded for explanations. Is it true that Chrissy caught Jim in the act on her birthday? Was the treachery demonstrated by hidden video? Or was Harlem set to see the most explosive exposure in the history of hip-hop and love? One thing was for sure. What started out as a celebration had turned into a controversy that may demolish all that Chrissy and Jim had constructed. The Globe and Harlem rushed to make an impression as the whole video approached. Friday came like the countdown to a crucifixion. With their eyes fixed on Harlem Truths, fans worldwide waited at their screens, refreshing every second. The post was dropped at midnight, and Harlem was forever changed. The entire video, which included every obscured segment and rumor, was now available. Each whispered leak appears to be childish. Jim could be seen pacing a hallway with his phone pressed to his ear, murmuring, "Keep her out of sight. I'll handle this." The blurred-faced woman appeared a few seconds later on the blurry video. Finally, her identity was revealed, no longer obscured. She was a Bronx-based store owner, someone who had allegedly, but never proven, been seen with Jim years earlier. As she laughed and brushed his arm, she leaned against the wall and spoke clearly. "Are you sure she won't find out?" Next came the incident that ignited the internet. Chrissy entered the picture, obviously looking for Jim. The two of them together caught her attention as she froze. Jim's expression went white, the woman grinned, and Chrissy spoke a single word in a whisper before rushing out once again. Although the clip finished abruptly, the damage was devastating. In a matter of minutes, fans swarmed Twitter. Chrissy Cotum's popularity surged. Videos of Chrissy's suffering went viral. TikTokers are adding melancholic piano music, Instagram profiles that were whispering to her like a melancholic chorus once more. For many, it was the ultimate confirmation. Jim's treachery was not conjecture. That was the truth. Even worse, this wasn't the first instance. The consequences started right away. Chrissy went offline and erased her Instagram stories. The only disturbing post she left was a blank screen with the words, "Fool me twice." Supporters flooded her comments with messages such, "Leave him. We love you. Chrissy, protect your peace," screamed louder than any tirade. Jim attempted to fabricate the story, going live nude hours after the leak, babbling and swirling with smoke. It video, old man, elderly, it wasn't her birthday. Stop believing anything you read online. Playing with my life, but the crowd weren't buying it. The clothes and timestamps matched, and even the venue's decor in the clip matched. Timestamps matched, and even the venue's decor in the clip matched. Each refusal made him appear more desperate. I warned him, don't play with Chrissy's heart no more. Then Mama Jones returned to the scene with her own bombshell, revealing, with tears in her eyes, that I pleaded with him to stop. Don't listen though, my son. Check out Hurrah Now. Honesty split and crushed Harlem's heart. She received kudos from several fans for supporting Chrissy. Her online broadcast of family business drew criticism from others. However, one thing was certain. As the internet processed, Mama Jones verified what everyone had been afraid of. More and more receipts came in. Emojis on screenshots of Jim's Cash App payments to the boutique owner were analyzed by followers as hieroglyphics. The lady laughed and said in a voicemail that she had released, "He's never going to marry her. She knows it. I know it." The maltreatment was intolerable. Fans raged, calling for Chrissy to get justice. Celebrities joined the craze, each adding to the storm's intensity. Tamar Braxton doubled down when she wrote, "This is why you don't wait 20 years on nobody." Cardi B doubled down. On the radio, Funk Flex raged, "That man embarrassed her too many times. This is it. He's finished with Harlem. Done." Fans even spliced Wendy Williams' warnings about Jim and Chrissy into previous clips that reappeared. Like a prophecy, but the unexpected turn of events occurred right as the outcry reached its zenith. The venue's private room was the location of a second video leak. It showed Jim being confronted by Chrissy following the altercation in the hallway. Her tone broke with anger. "You brought me here to make fun of me. Knowing she was in the building, you led me in a parade in front of Harlem." Jim's answer was terrifying. "This was something you were aware of. Don't be so fresh." The one that internet usage skyrocketed. 1,000,000 times on Twitter, that one statement was remixed into TikToks, set to beats, and became a viral sound clip. Fans analyzed it incessantly. What did he mean when he said, "You knew what this is"? Was Jim acknowledging that Chrissy was aware of his earlier two lives? Was he implying that she put up with it because of the celebrity, the lifestyle, or the TV checks? Or was it a betrayal that twisted the knife in the middle of her heartbreak? Chrissy's supporters made their stances known. Emily B. wrote, "Loyalty is a must for true love," alongside a picture of Chrissy. Remy Ma reposted Chrissy's prayer hands on a black screen. Yandy Smith, whose relationship with Chrissy has never been smooth, only wrote, "Tables turned." The comment section exploded. Was Yandy shading Jim or calling out Chrissy? Then, uncertainty simply made the pandemonium worse. Late Friday night, Chrissy finally returned as Harlem burned. Her voice was trembling and her eyes were puffy when she went live from a poorly lit room. Her words were, "I gave that man my life. I also got a circus from him." The comments were filled with sadness and affection, and tens of thousands of people watched in quiet as Chrissy, who was clearly shaking, said, "I'm not a clown. I'm not a prop. I'm done. My love is dead." She logged out. That live altered everything. Fans went from being angry to mourning, portraying it as if it were the end of an era. Chrissy was shown in memes as Harlem's eternal queen. Twitter exploded with threads detailing her 20-year journey with Jim, reposting hip-hop and old love clips with captions like she deserved better from the start. It wasn't the last video, though, as the final cliffhanger arrived at Harlem Truths posted one final cryptic message. Then there's the doomsday clip, which makes everyone's hands go dirty. Fans speculated wildly, and the internet froze. What could be worse than seeing Chrissy enter a gym with another woman? The birthday celebration that was supposed to make Chrissy queen was all that anyone knew. Rumors circulated about the apocalyptic clip, including if it was about money laundering or weather. VH1 producers were orchestrating the entire issue about Chrissy herself concealing facts that would change the story, had instead ripped up Harlem, broken a 20-year romance, and left people wanting more. Chrissy whispered once more, and Jim sneered, "You knew what this was." These were no longer merely soundbites, Mama Jones warned. They left scars that were ingrained in the culture. Indefinitely, the celebration that was supposed to honor love, devotion, and a 20-year relationship turned out to be the most embarrassing performance Harlem has ever witnessed. Fans knew the story was far from done, as the doomsday clip was approaching. If you believe that this story is over, you're mistaken. Mama Jones's warnings, Chrissy's whispering once again, Jim's coldness, and the blurred-faced woman's sneer will live on in the culture for a very long time. Leaks aren't slowing down. They're only growing darker. The doomsday clip was promised by Harlem Truths. and it's so explosive that it might attract producers, celebrities, and family members we never thought were involved in this catastrophe. The question now is, will you be the last to know, or will you be in the front row when the last bombshell goes off? Don't wait. When it drops, it's no longer simply gossip, it's blood in the water. For someone else to send you the link, click the like button now. If you're standing with Chrissy, leave a comment asking whether you think she's finally finished or if she's going to continue in this cycle. And most importantly, click the subscribe button and enable all notifications because the next leak might happen at 2 in the morning. This is not just drama. This is not just reality TV. This is history being made. And the doomsday footage is on the horizon. By morning, the entire internet will have already been analyzing it without you.